Derp. Thanks, Ken. I really joused him that one, didn't I? All right, so we're doing a first look at Dark Astral tonight. It just released today. It is a chapbook for Zweihander. It is set in a far-flung sci-fi themed future. It borrows heavily from Dune and the old PlayStation 1 game Xenogears. So we're gonna flip through this thing together, and yeah, we'll explore it. I've skimmed it. I haven't gone into a detail, so I'm gonna be going through this mostly for the first time with all of you people. But I'll drop a link in the chat on where you can buy it on Amazon. Don't mind the giant link that I threw in there. It's so weird not having sound. I'm used to hearing other people and things, and I just hear myself, and I don't like it. But yeah, good times. Ken, who did the art on the interior of this book, we can critique him, and we can ask him all kinds of questions about his art while he's here. Don't hold back. All right, so we have this gorgeous cover, gorgeous new cover on the book. There's a man in a tank or something, some sort of creature in a tank. And it's very gothic style art here, reminiscent of another game that rhymes with Sorehammer. But yeah, let's dive into this thing. We got our credits. We'll give you guys here. Let's look at the table of contents. Here's what you can expect. So it's a chapbook. This isn't a full release. What it is, you can start your own campaign using the tools in here. It'll only go so far. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 professions in here. 6 professions in here. But if there's enough interest, they have said that they will release this as a full book, possibly in the future. But you get new professions, you get new armor, you get new weapons, you get mods you can add to your characters, implants. There's all sorts of cool new stuff in here. Wish I had people in my ear talking to me. All right, so Dark Astral. What is Dark Astral? Let's take a look at this little overview here to give you an idea of what this setting is all about. So in the grim future of Dark Astral, superstition reigns supreme. The solar system is spread apart into warring fiefdoms. Technology has gone by the wayside and become an extreme luxury. Education is fleeting, and knowledge is reserved for the powerful. Meaning science and medicine lag behind. Religion and superstition reign. This is a campaign setting that is deeply entrenched in superstition and subverted ideals, despite the staggering height of technology. Dark Astral is the Renaissance era transplanted into the theater of Vault of Night. Foolhardy shadow brokers, corrupted clergists, I can't pronounce that, clergists, insane psychonauts, hedonistic technocrats, sanguine manhunters, and ravaged astro-templars all have their niche, even if their sailing ships are replaced by space arcs and bows with laser rifles. Bows with laser rifles, people. In Dark Astral, don't use traditional science fiction terms. Aliens are called the Other. Gravity is called Aethria. Planets are called dominions. Ships are called arcs. Stars are called mirrors. And space itself is called the Vault of Night. In the uncharted territories in the Vault of Night, there are not galaxies, but witch spirals. Instead of black holes, there are the starless wells called Dark Astral. Bah, look at how we get the title in there. All right, welcome to the world of Dark Astral. So here we've got a lot of the flavor, what you can expect for setting up a campaign, and gives you some direction on where to go on these first couple pages. I'm not going to read all this. There's a lot of stuff there, but there is an interesting section here over on the other page that I do want to look at. And that's adventure ideas or hooks. So you've got this chapbook, you're interested in running it, but you don't know what to do with it. Well, guess what? They have gone ahead and given you some hooks that you could jump into if you don't know what to do, or you don't have an idea of how to utilize this chapbook with your group and their game. So the first one is Clarion Call. Crusaders have been requisitioned to head into the hinterlands to respond to a distress call from the Teutonic League, a famed order of Astro Templars thought dead after the crash of the Outremer. The beacon is faint but present, and it leads into deadly lands haunted by mutant and beast alike. If it turns out to be a false signal, the Elector Purelate would still ask for proof of the Teutonic League's demise. So that's kind of like a Space Marines sort of campaign. You're gonna go out there, your group of Astro Templars, and you're gonna go. Oh, Trey Mare. Thank you. You're out there to. We're very European, but we're not. Except for us up here. How do you spell color? So you're a group of Astro Templars heading out to go take on mutants and beasts alike. Go rid the galaxy of their filth. A very, very 40K-esque sort of game there. Next is Slo-Mo. A new designer drug has ravaged the streets of Old Jerusalem, known as Slo-Mo. It is a depressant that leaves the user in a mellow state, reducing perception to a mere fraction of a second. The user can perceive colors more vividly as the world visually slows down to a crawl. That's kind of like Judge Dredd. Judge Dredd did that really well. I saw that in 3D, and it was fantastic. Those scenes where they used the drug, what was it called? Ken will know. When they used those drugs in 3D on the big screen, were crazy. They were unreal. Oh, Slo-Mo! It is Slo-Mo! Uh-oh. We got a copyright claim. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that was unreal in the theater. My buddy fell asleep during that movie, slept through like 3/4 of it. He had a rough day at work, and then I wake him up. I'm like, man, that movie's so good. He's like, it was terrible. I'm like, you didn't even watch it. And he's never given it another try. His loss. However, bad batches have the opposite effect, inciting hyper-violence and cannibalism. Ooh. See, that's my alley. More and more reports of these bad batches are sprouting up in Antioch, meaning they may be coming from a central source trying to collapse Outremer from within. And he totally is. I give him a hard time about it every time I see him. Man, have you watched Dread yet? No, stupid movie. You're an idiot. No. Oak! What's going on? We're doing our first look at Dark Astral, which you will see soon. It is available right now on Amazon. Drop the link in there. Boom, spam the link. Hey, Jeff, how's it going? People are slowly filtering in. Welcome, everybody. We've just started our walkthrough of Dark Astral. You have not missed much. I read the little intro, and that's about it. We looked at the fancy-dancy cover. Jeff's here. Kay's here. Look at that. The gang's all here. They're slowly filtering in. All right, so the last one, the Black Year. Band of Scrags, have managed to tunnel into Odessa, dismantling a power mill that provides clean water to half the Chancery. The Hospitalers can fix most of it, but the Skrask took a one-of-a-kind witchstone gear that must be recovered. Crusaders are recruited to venture into the Skrask tunnels and search out the missing equipment. Wow, that sounds similar to something I may have seen. I can't talk about it, but sounds very familiar. Skurzak. See, Ken, you're my translator. I'm happy you're here. Speaking of Ken, look at this art. Look at this art right here. We got to zoom in on this. This is very Mobius-esque. This is all him. This is the Astro Templar. He got hit on the head. Yeah. Look at this. Beautiful art from Ken Duque, interior artist on this book. You can see the influences on this, but it is very Mobius-esque in its look. Good job, sir. So this is the first of the 6 professions, the Astro Templar. We'll just do a quick introduction, a little read through of all these, and we're going to take a look at what makes them tick as well. And we'll hammer through these. If anybody has any questions, throw them out there. If you want me to go back to something in the book, or you have questions about the book, I'll answer them the best I can, seeing as how I have it here. Ah, Skurzak. Okay. See, everybody's got their own way. It's regional. That's what I'm going to go with. It's a regional pronunciation. So Astra Templars are the first of the fist of mankind, and the savior of its people. Far beyond mortal men and women, Astra Templars have undergone intense genetic modification to become super soldiers. Their body implanted with extreme wetware to make them stronger, faster, and deadlier. Organized into military orders, all within their order share a genetic lineage to Sol Invictus, a figure of legend, making them tighter than siblings. Not only are they fighting machines, they are devoted fully to the credo of humanity's savior. It is said that a platoon of Astra Templars can destroy a whole city within hours, but the full force of their order can make a star system weep in pain. Oh, it's so evocative. All right, so let's take what makes an Astro Templar tick. So here are their traits. These guys, so not all of these professions, I have looked at them, they're not all created equal. The Astro Templars are definitely on the more gifted side with everything that they have. So they got these mutagens, we'll call them. Yeah, they make them weep, Ken. They're really, really mean people. They're wicked with their words. They're sharp with their tongues. All right, so this represents their genetic modifications they've gone through and their implants and all that good stuff. So they get to select one primary attribute and adjust it to 55%. You also gain one of the following traits based on your primary attribute selected. This is crazy stuff here. So as a combat Astro Templar, you automatically gain every focus for pattern ranged weapons. We're going to get to the patterns later, but you do require them to use certain ranged weapons. There's different, like Tesla weapons and laser weapons and all sorts of different ranged weapons you can use. But I wasn't going to say most of them, I want to say all of them, you need to have a focus in them to be able to use them without flipping to fail. So if you're combat-based Astro Templar, you get a focus in all of those guns because you're really good at them. As a Brawn Astro Templar, whenever you are seriously or grievously wounded, adjust your damage threshold to +3. What? That's crazy. As an Agility Astro Templar, whenever you load ammunition, you don't have to spend AP to do so. That is clutch. As a Perception-based Astro Templar, calculate distance with pattern range weapons by 3 times your PB. As an Intelligence-based Astro Templar, reduce all attack actions by 1 AP, even if the result is 0. As before, once you've attempted an attack action, whether successful or not, you cannot use any other attack action until your next turn. So just because it doesn't cost you anything or cost you less doesn't mean you can take more attacks. Still standard rules here, folks. Let's not get too excited. You can only do 1 per turn. 1 per turn. Hey, Jeremy's here. Look at this. Nick, how's it going? Good to have you here. No, I won't like them as a GM, Jeff. You're 100% correct. I think they're overpowered, and you know me. You know me. As a Fellowship Astro Templar, reduce the reputation thresholds for requisitioning melee and ranged weapons by 1 step. This means if the requisition cost is minor, it's free, middling, so on and so on. So in this game, when you buy gear, you requisition it, and it's based off of your reputation. So you have to have a fairly good reputation if you want to get the good stuff. So being a Fellowship 1, you have access to the really cool gear early on. Everybody's hanging one another. Look at this. Hello, everybody. So this is the friendliest room on Twitch right now. I don't know about that, but it is pretty darn friendly in here. All right, so what is the drawback? You have all of these amazing things that you can choose from. You can choose one. What's the drawback? You're a eunuch. Oh no, you cannot reproduce. Upon entering this profession, you must take the eunuch drawback. In addition, you're also considered both a humanoid and mutant for purposes of being affected by magic, toxins, and alike. Because you're this weird hybrid that's been raised in a test tube. You're a test tube baby. Still doesn't seem that bad. These guys seem like they're making out just okay, even with that drawback. All right, next. Oh, we gotta zoom in on this art again. Clergist? Yeah, there we go. That sounds right. Clergist. All right, look at these guys. Look at this. Ah, it's nasty. What's going on there, Ken? What were you going for here? Oh, he's got a metal arm. Replaced his body with that of machine. Great value, 40k. What? I didn't see that. Who is this guy? Get him out of here. uh, technology may be everywhere, but the secrets of its oh my goodness, it's gonna be a night for pronunciation. Have been lost to a dark era of ignorance. Clergists are the only people left to understand the cryptic mother brain and memtic crystals, at least to an extent. Characterized by their ceremonial vermilion robes and extensive implants, they have a religious reverence to mechanics and technology's arcane mysteries. So these guys replace their body parts with implants and such from the looks of it. So your trait, your body ticks, swirls, and clicks with the numerous metal and plastic modifications you have woven into your own flesh, and after you undergo psychosurgery for implants, your mind expands, allowing you to reach deeper into the dark astral for insight beyond reckoning. The art is awesome, Nick, and that is all Ken to K. Oh, Boffrin with the raid. Hello, sir. Thank you for the raid. Instant Floby. So, what does this trait do? Every implant you have installed permanently increases one of your primary attributes by 3. What? You can increase your attributes in this game? Craziness. That's actually really, really good. It may not seem it to people who have not maybe played or is familiar with Zweihander, but to increase your primary attributes, that's really good. By 3%. Your drawback, though. Whenever you suffer corruption, which is like constantly, increase the number of points you gain by 1 for every implant you have installed. That means if you suffer 3 corruption and you have 2 implants, you gain 5. Ooh, that's rough. This guy's gonna be walking the path of like Oak or Bill from the Sunday game. Let's rack up all of that corruption. Is there a max number of implants? That is a great question. Is there a max number of implants? I don't know. Being I've only skimmed this, we'll find out as we go through it. Ken is here; he'll know for sure. Seeing as how this is his baby and he's done a lot of work on it, maybe he can answer that for us. Kenneth? I guess every limb you have. We'll get to the implant section. Here we go. More art. The Manhunter. $10. There you go. Daniel's in here too. Daniel says maybe. You heard it right from the man himself. Manhunter. Again, let's look at this beautiful art by Ken. Gorgeous. Gorgeous stuff. Again, very Mobius inspired. You'll never get that $10 from me, Ken. Never. Alright, so what is a Manhunter? Not always are the enemies of Sol Invictus within plain sight. With the infinite spans of the vault of night, agents of heresy and treason hide themselves where few can find them. Enter the Manhunter. Specially trained by the Empire, they are elite bounty hunters and assassins charged to eliminate the most insidious threats to humanity without even a hint of gunsmoke. Assassins, folks! This is your assassin, trained from birth to be efficient, clean, and deadly, leaving no trace of their work. Most operate alone because they do not need aid, but more pronunciation tonight. Missions can involve selves of manhunters with different schools of thought and methods of disposal. So what makes the Manhunter tick? Shiv trapping. Yeah, you're starting trapping as a shiv. That's always a good sign, right? Alright, so their trait. In combat, you may use Subdue as a reaction of 0 AP. In addition, whenever you deal damage to a foe with a ranged weapon, they must resist takedown. You must be wielding a ballistic pattern ranged weapon to take advantage of these benefits. We'll look at the patterns later. They're near the end of the book, and we'll get into those. But that's really good. That is really good. Subdue as 0. Or if you deal damage with a ranged weapon, they must resist takedown, like knocking them down. That is crazy. And then the rest of your friends will all get those bonuses for them being for the takedown bonus. Huh. I like it. Dark clothing, yeah. Dark. Where's my highlighter? Dark clothing. Shiv. Ugh. What else? We got throwing knives. I love it. I love it. This is my favorite class so far, this assassin class. But what is the drawback, if any? Whenever you are surprised, you suffer stress. Oh, that's not good. Stress will creep up and shut down characters faster than damage. I say stress, terror, all that good stuff. You use that right, and you can shut down a party very effectively. 20% more chaos. All right, the Psychonaut. What's up with this guy's head, Ken? What's going on? His enlarged cranium. The Psychonaut. I think we have a good idea right now of what this class is all about. Said Matt the father. Yes. Alright, so the Psychonaut. The grossly mutated are shunned and oftentimes exterminated for their sickness. But one mutation has proved itself useful enough to exploit. That of psychic ability. Psychonauts are those who have managed to master this ability. The Empire of Sol Invictus makes damn sure to snatch them up as quickly as possible. Some Psychonauts become navigators who help direct arcs through the Vault of Night. Ooh, very, very Dune inspired there. I like it. Others are powerful telepaths who create interstellar communication networks with their minds. The mental abilities of Psychonauts are fierce and found throughout every nook of the Vault of Night in some capacity or another. All right. I think we know where we're going with this. So, their first trait. This is where... So, our Psychonaut was the first one to have multiple traits. You get the base one and then you get the select one. This guy's got multiple traits as well. So whenever you perform hypnosis successfully, both you and the patient can then temporarily speak with one another using telepathy. Telepathy works across any distance. Ooh. It remains in effect for 1 week. Holy crap. Your telepathic power can only affect humanoids and mutants, including player ancestries. Substitute navigation in place of incantation when using perform hypnosis. That's cool. You can do that. You got to do that with your party. You have to. That's a must. The start of a session, it's like, all right, guys, we're doing hypnosis. Lie down. Don't resist, and then we'll just communicate with our minds. The next trait is the magic one. So select one of the following special traits: arcane magic, covenant magic, or divine magic. You can now attempt to learn generalist magic and petty magic from the spell lists tied to that special trait. In addition, you immediately learn any 2 generalist magic spells and 1 petty magic spell of the special trait when you enter this profession. Ooh, I love me my casters, said Matt Never, because they're overpowered. That seems really good. That's really, really good for casting. Holy. But what's their drawback? They die when they cast a spell. No, you immediately gain a Taint of Chaos. In addition, when you generate a phase 6 on Chaos Dice, you invoke a Chaos Manifestation. Very powerful stuff. What do they start with? Anything? They get dirty robes. They have to be dirty. They soil themselves when they use magic. Only in my games. Ye old Taint of Chaos. Cool. Any questions on any of these professions so far? Want to go back and see anything, just let me know. But we're just doing a walkthrough. Going through this book page by page. Yeah, clean robes are highly overrated, I'd say. Ken. Shadow Broker. Ooh. Oh, this is El Tigre. That is a cool piece of art. Tiger King, right? You're gonna banhammer on these robes. The lion pelt. Oh, is there a lion? It's tiger. A tigre. Super good. Ken, you're killing it, man. As always, I love it. All right, so what is a shadow broker? Carol Baskin serves chaos. Travel among the mirrors of the Vault of Night is a luxury usually only afforded to the astral forces of Sol Invictus. The Shadow Broker is a rare breed that can truly say they have tasted freedom. Shadow Brokers are from lines of nobility granted a letter of marque, a designation that gives them freedom to explore the Vault of Night in the interests of Sol Invictus. Shadow Brokers own their own arcs and serve as merchants, explorers, and conquerors, often with allies across the whole galaxy, even teaming up, rarely, with the others. Ooh, cool. Yeah, the art is crazy. I agree, Rick. All right, so what makes Shadow Broker tick? Whenever you pair up a focus with skill usage, you gain an assist die. Now, that's really good. Oh, my camera's going on focus. Focuses are one of those areas of Zweihander that gets overlooked far too often, and they grant really, really powerful bonuses when you take them. So this whole profession is focused on those focuses and using those, and then getting an assist die, which is also crazy. A bonus chance to succeed. What is a drawback? You may not use any fate or fortune points in situations where your dooming may apply. Oh, that's cool. Work with the game master to determine when those situations arise. That's really cool. But that poor GM is always they're gonna have to have it like taped up on their monitor or written in front of them, whatever your dooming is. So whenever it comes up, you know, that little light bulb comes on and goes, oh yeah, no, you can't use any of that stuff here. No, you're just gonna die. I'm gonna target you and that's it. You're done. What stands out here on their a sack of tobacco, not just a pouch. They got a sack of tobacco. Cool. All right. You'll notice as we're going through these here, it's also got like the talents. So you do like, because it is a chapbook, you will need the Zweihander core book to use this. So you've got your talents on there. And to know what those are, you will have to reference the Zweihander core book, Gallows Humor, Impervious Mind, Mariner. Because again, this is a chapbook. If there's enough interest and traction on this, there is the possibility, maybe down the road, that we will see a full book. But that is nowhere near fruition. But support this, show it some love, and that just might happen. I just dropped the link again in the chat for the Amazon where you can buy this. The Amazon link where you can purchase the chapbook. As of today, release day. The Technocrat. The Technocrat. 2 different colored eyes. Cool. Very Bowie-esque. Again, Ken, killing it. Sol Invictus is a giant machine, wheels within wheels that turn slowly to make the massive empire even function on a minimal level. In that sense, the smallest cogs are the technocrats. Part bureaucrat, part clergyman, technocrats keep the entirety of Sol Invictus operating. From the smallest scribe to the most powerful Dominion Lord, technocrats work their way up by studying the scriptures, organizing the paperwork, and spreading the message of Sol Invictus through deed and word. It is oftentimes a thankless job, but one that is all important to ensure humanity's supremacy amongst the Vault of Night and to make sure it does not crumble from within. Ooh, they are the wheels, they are the cogs. Don't wait, Nick. You can buy it on Amazon at the link above that I posted. Don't wait, read it now. It's 44 pages. You can hammer through it tonight. It's a brisk read. What else we got going on here in the chat? Oh, you did. Oh, thank you for adding the command Dark Astral. Won't come out till April 22nd. What's that? The physical book? Is that when it's delivering? I know everything with everything going on right now. Non-essential items are taking forever through Amazon. Yeah, with shipping. I know. I was on there today looking at stuff, and I'm a Prime member, and it's something I'd get the same day. I'm now looking at the end of the month to get. It's just kind of the world we live in right now. Non-essentials are going to take a while to get to us, but we have the PDF. You can get a PDF if you buy it. Well, Friday's not that far away. Look at that way. Let's look at the positives here, and we get to look at it right now. You could just like go back and pause this and study it. No, don't do that. All right. So, what is the trait for this class or this profession? Sorry. With a successful scrutinized test, you can determine the motivation of any NPC you encounter. In addition, you determine their social class and whether they are order aligned or chaos aligned with the same skill test. Now that seems really powerful in the GM seat, because if you got some kind of like big conspiracy wheel and things going on, you want people to be playing other people and trying to lead the PCs astray. To determine motivations, that's a real kick in the pants for the GM. It's quite powerful if you're doing an intrigue sort of game. If you're just a bunch of Astral Templars shooting things, then not so much. Well, maybe, depending on what you got lined up. I Heart Maple Syrup shirts, you need one. As a Canadian expat, I think it's required. What's the drawback? Whenever dealing in social interactions with those who are not considered to be your allies or fellow player characters, lean into your chaos alignment for purposes of role-playing. Ooh. If you're going full Grim and Perilous method here, and you end up with some random chaos alignment, that could be really interesting and really entertaining to watch a player roleplay that alignment. All of a sudden, just go off the deep end and completely change. What do they start with? A transcribing pen or a writing kit. You don't get both. You have to choose. You can either have the pen, but you have to buy the writing kit yourself. And the thermal backpack. Cool. Any questions so far as we go through this? I believe that was our last profession. So we went through all of the professions in the chapbook. My favorite, in the player seat would be Manhunter. Manhunter is what I would personally play. Look at that. Daniel says you fill it out now, fill it out right now, and you will get it tomorrow morning. Head over to the Discord and fill that out. All right. So what's next? Like I said, I've been through this. I've read it. I've skimmed it, but I've not given a deep dive. I was waiting for you folks, so we're going to be going through a lot of this together. So acquiring gear. We went over this a little bit before. Getting new gear, you have to requisition, and it is based off of your standing, your reputation. So if you have a lower reputation, it's going to be much harder for you to get goods in this game, to get weapons, to get mods, to get implants, to get anything. So you want to have someone in your party or yourself with a high reputation threshold to get that really, really good stuff. So Dark Astral does away with tracking coins. The economy is so inflated with money that it is not really a consideration for players to manage. Yes. Characters are likely agents of an astral empire, allowing them to requisition equipment direct from their superiors through outposts via trade or among black markets using credit they have earned for deeds both glorious and infamous. That makes me think of the Three Amigos. You are more than famous. You are infamous, El Guapo. Follow the rules as presented for reputation points to understand how to use reputation thresholds as a driver for purchasing gear. Would you say I had a plethora? Yes, El Guapo. I would say you had a plethora. That's for all the Three Amigos fans out there. So reputation thresholds. This indicates the price necessary to requisition a weapon under normal circumstances. However, as the GM, you're ultimately in control of how many reputation points are required to purchase an item individually. You can deem that certain types of armor are unattainable on worlds which are undeveloped, underdeveloped, or even lower the number of reputation points required to purchase gear that is easily obtainable. So really, there is no set market price or availability for anything in this setting. The GM, if you're on some backwater world and you're looking for some really high-tech piece of gear or something you might deem a little bit more rare, your GM could be a real jerk and say, nope, it is not available here. If it is, you got a hefty price to get this thing. I like it. I actually like this a lot. It gets rid of a lot of tracking for both parties. So we got requisitioning the different weapons, ranged, melee, grenades, ammunition, implants. We won't get into all of that, but the actual mechanics behind it are very, very cool. Tech is separated into high and low tech. So low tech weapons are still common throughout the Vault of Night, considering that technology is the province of the elite and knowledgeable. Used for ceremony or defense, they are made out of better material than the days of old from steel, ceramic, hardened leathers, and other synthetic metals. Low weapons are rarely the province of the poor. Many nobles still see the worth of a good sliver of steel, mostly because the hide of a beast knows no difference between iron or plasma. There's also... Oh, look, there's that tiger. There's a tiger's head. Look at that. Ken Decay art right there. Staring into the eyes of the beast. So there's alien gear, extremely rare, or alien items are classified as unique and cannot be acquired by reputation points. They must be taken from the hands of the entities who wield them, using deception, force, or murder. Yeah, that tiger on a shirt would actually be pretty damn cool. I'm not gonna argue with that. What do you got going on the chat here? Like the rep system. I do too, Jeff. Yeah, I do too. I like it's up to the GM to control the power curve of the game. Gives them a lot of control. Instead of being like, you roll a town, it's like 50% more than the chart, or 75% more than the chart, or 25% less. I like it a lot. Ed Hardy. Oh, you're getting called out there, Ken. Ed Hardy tiger shirts. That's good. Tap out, Ken. Tap out. So new qualities. So we've got the qualities that come from the Zweihander revised core rulebook are in effect in this game. You're going to see them on a lot of the gear and weapons and everything. There's also new qualities unique to Dark Astral. We're not going to read through all of them. We'll skim. We'll take a look at a couple. Again, you can buy it on Amazon right now. And Daniel said you can get your PDF tomorrow if you fill in your form tonight. I'll hold you to that. So accurate. Weapons of this quality treat medium distances as short distances and long distances as medium distances. So if you're going to be a shooty type character, accurate is very important on a weapon. No, I can't. I cannot talk without moving my hands. I need to specifically get them in the camera just for you, Oak. Yes. Thank you, Nick. That is a character trait of mine. I've had people, coworkers and stuff, they imitate me and they're always waving their arms in the air, and I think it's hilarious because it's true. Curtain. I was looking at Curtain before. I was on the shields that I noticed it, and when I was doing my last read through, I wanted to go back and see what Curtain was. So whenever you are struck by a ranged weapon while wearing Curtain or wearing armor or shield of this quality, roll 1d6 chaos die. If it lands on a 6, you ignore it and you automatically dodge it for 0 AP. Otherwise, you can attempt to dodge. That's cool. So I saw Curtain on a bunch of the shields. There are different, I think there's 3 shields in the Chapbook that are available, and a whole slew of armor. That is a very cool quality. Fuel! Fuel. All right, so things are fueled in this world. You're going to have to keep that in mind when you're using them. Armor and shields of this quality require power from a fuel canister. Fuel canisters follow the standard rules for expiration when powering armor and shields. Once the fuel canister expires, both armor and shields are rendered useless until a new fuel canister is installed. Now, if you were going to be a real mean GM, you'd be like, in the comment, you're like, I know, your fuel canister just ran out. You weren't tracking it. That would be a real jerk move. It'd be something I would do. What was his brace? Someone mentioned brace there in the chat. Oh, Charles! A wielder of a weapon with this quality cannot charge, maneuver, or run. Aw. In addition, the weapon must be braced against a hard surface before being fired for 1 AP. Without bracing a weapon before firing, it cannot use its firing modes of semi-auto and full auto, nor can it launch any sort of grenade. Weapons which are braced remain so until moved. That's some big weapons. We're going to have that. Oh, that's a great question. Oh, can you hit fuel canisters, make them explode? Why not? I would say, in my games, yes. It would be really hard to do, aiming at something so small or buried or maybe be on the back of someone, but why not? That would be damn cool. I don't know if it's in here, but I would make that a thing in our games. Oh no. Adam and Chuck just realized they're both in chat. Gross. That's funny. Aim plus 20, yep. When you're Arnold Schwarzenegger, you ignore the brace quality. That's right. What else? Let's look at a couple others here before moving on. We're not, like I said, we're not going through all of these. Shock. Immediately after striking a foe, weapons of this quality forces the foe to resist stunning blow. Powered. Immediately after a defender parries a shield, weapon, or armor of this quality, it forces that same foe to resist disarm. That's cool. That's very cool. Ammunition. There was a whole slew of different types of ammunition here. It made me think of, again, going back to Judge Dredd, when he, tells his gun and it switches the different ammunitions within the gun. There are things that can do that in this game as well. And the different ammunitions have different effects on what you're facing. So ammunition is interchangeable between most weapons. For instance, a Dum Dum magazine, we'll get into what a Dum Dum magazine is later, can easily interchange between a ballistic pattern or a Tesla pattern weapon. Weapons of this cell quality always require an energy cell in place of its magazine, while those of the fuel quality requires a fuel canister in place of a magazine. So you can swap out different ammunition types on your weapons. Dum Dum. I like the name of that one. Dum Dum Dugan. Hot shot. All right, weapon statistics. Again, we're just going to gloss over a lot of this stuff. We're not going to read it all, but this will give you guys an idea of what you can expect in the chat book and what your appetites while you wait for your PDF tomorrow or your physical book by the end of the month. Yeah, Mega City, I saw, sorry to go off on a tangent here, I was talking about Judge Dredd earlier. I saw Mega City is still a thing. Like, it's still being made. There's still a chance we'll see it. I hope it doesn't die, because Dredd was so good. And my stupid friend who slept through it is a tool. And I remind him of that all the time, that he slept through it and he's a tool for sleeping through Dredd. Don't blame your bad work day on missing out on a good movie and then calling it bad. Alright, weapon class. Oh, I like this. I read this earlier. So for simplicity, ranged weapons are classified by how they must be wielded. So we no longer have simple ranged and martial ranged. We now have one-handed guns are all pistols. Anything that can be wielded with one or two is a carbine. Or weapons that must be wielded with two hands are rifles or mortars. So shifts from the simple and martial and moves into the classification of how they are handled or wielded in combat. Different guns have different magazine sizes. That's in a chart later on. I like this little bit here. So this last bit here is cool. This is very Schwarzenegger-esque. Clearing the chamber is part of the load action. Players may even attempt to roll 1d6 chaos die afterwards. If it lands on a face 6, their character catches the bullet as they clear the chamber, if for no other benefit than to simply do something fun. Look cool, that's what it's all about. Grab that last bullet as it pops out. Alright. You want a gun full of kitchens and bathroom magazines. Alright, well, I don't think that's going to happen, Bill. But people can dream. Yeah. Yeah, if you roll a 1, it hits them in the eye and they get the blind condition. That should be a thing, Jeff. That should be a thing. So we got our firing mode. Semi-automatic. These are pretty self-explanatory. Consumes 1 shot from a loaded magazine when you use the attack action. Semi-auto weapons need to not be loaded between turns until its magazine is fully expended. Burst fire is rock. Oh no, that's not rock and roll. That's your full auto, Jeff. That's next. It's Jeff's favorite. That's when he shines. Burst fire. This fire mode squeezes off bursts of 3-round bullets with each squeeze of the trigger. This old battle rifle from Halo from my old Halo players. Best gun in the game. BR. Before a player attempts an attack action, they may opt to increase damage against a single foe. This damage is in addition to the total damage they do normally suffer when struck. That's cool. That's cool. Sorry, I was reading the chat there. When the players wish to use burst fire mode for an attack option, they spend 2 AP to strike. When attacking, they will roll only once to strike. If successful, add the result of the tens die, result between 1 and 10, to the total damage. Regardless of whether they hit or not, using a weapon in burst fire mode consumes 3 shots. That's cool. Full auto, rock and roll. This is what Jeff's Coriolis character is all about. Firing mode fires a continuous stream of bullets as long as the trigger is being held down. Pulled the trigger till it went click. When players wish to use full auto for an attack action, they must spend 3 AP to strike. When attacking, they will roll only once to strike. If successful, each foe suffers the same damage. Regardless if they hit or not, using a weapon of full auto expends 3 shots for every target you attempt to strike. Whenever firing full auto, the GM will make a difficulty rating harder by 2 steps negatively, in addition to any other modifiers. That's cool. And then Suppressive Fire. We've got a new action you can do here. Costs 3 AP. I don't know what song that is. Oh, the Halo theme song. Oh, we're going to get a copyright strike here. Suppressive. So this is when at a distance with the number of foes, make a relevant combat-based skill test referring to the skill required to use your ranged weapon. If successful, foes caught in a cone template may attempt to resist by making a successful warfare test or be temporarily under fire. So, and if they try to move while they're under fire, they are subject to a opportunity of attack. Kind of like, yeah, it's like XCOM. XCOM did that. All right, so this is where we got the different patterns with the weapons, and this is where you're going to need to do a specific like focus in these patterns to be able to use them without flipping to fail. So there's quite a few here, and if you're not training these weapons, you're going to be flipping to fail a lot if you try to use them. Ballistic pattern. Weapons are standard among soldiers, firing a variety of different rounds using a solid propellant that hit their targets with impact force, making a distinct sound when fired. Little bit of flavor text here. Orc Scrappers. Scrapper is a weapon made from the discarded pieces of other guns, unstable but cheap. The ASTRAL railgun is a quick rifle used by their scouts, their projectiles being propelled by magnet rails while barely making a sound as it's fired. That's cool. Esoteric pattern. Though any odd weapon found throughout Dark Astral can be categorized as beyond strange, a handful stand out. Hypo weapons fire bladed syringes filled with toxins that inject their payload into a foe when hit. That is nasty. That is nasty. Gross. Flame pattern. Yeah, we got our flamethrower. Is that a flamethrower there? No, it's got a clip. Sorry. Sorry, Ken. That is not a flamethrower. Flame weapons are streamlined flamethrowers, a favorite for the purging of heretics. Flame weapons are easy to make and maintain. Most are simply a fuel hose that runs past a pilot light. Cool. Laser pattern. Laser weapons fire a burst of highly agitated light energy, often red or green in color, that hits the target quickly. The only other sign of the shot being a loud cracking noise as the air superheats. Cool. Launcher pattern. Grenade launchers and rocket-propelled grenades, RPGs, fall into that category. Maser pattern. Maser weapons fire invisible microwaves, cooking the target from the inside out. Oh, that's cool. All right, that's the best one yet. Plasma pattern. Plasma weapons ignite particles of plasma with electrical energy, allowing the energy blast to stay intact while it travels to the target. And Tesla pattern. These guns shear small size of magnetized metal off of the weapons magazine, accelerating them as flatjets using electromagnetic coils. Tesla, electricity. We know what it is. Electricity gun. Focuses and free focuses. So, like I was saying earlier, if you want to use these different type of patterns, you have to have a focus in that gun to not flip to fail. So for the purpose of using these weapons, a wielder must have a focus in the pattern. Understanding each of these patterns is critical to properly using the guns. Without the focus, you must flip to fail to result on an attack action. This means in order for a sellsword to use a Tesla, you must have Tesla focus, and so on, in either simple or martial ranged. Give one free focus in ballistic pattern or laser pattern to any player during character creation stage. So fret not, you're not all going to be useless to these cool weapons. You get to start with either ballistic or laser pattern for free. And those of the warrior archetype should begin play with a free focus in either simple or martial ranged, as well as the Tesla pattern focus. So you do get to start with focuses in some of these guns. You're not useless to all of them and have to learn along the way. And here are the tables with the weapons, the qualities, all that good stuff. All of the new guns. Oh, there's that ASTRAL railgun that was mentioned. Alien. Ooh, the alien quality. It's on there. You're not getting your hands on that easily, players. I'll never give it to you. There's Esoteric. Flame weapons. Pyre shot rifle, cool. This heavy flamethrower, 4 AP to load. Same with the flame cannon. But look at all of the qualities that come with them. It's the trade-off. Laser weapons. Ooh, a bile gun. Nice. Flesh cannon. Gross. That's disgusting. Cool. So lots of new options for weapons, and each pattern has their own tables. So fret not. If you are going to pick this up and start running it, you've got a lot of material here for the weapons. There's the remaining types, and then we get into grenades. Defiler Tomb Rifle. Sounds like a metal album. I'm looking at chat. I'm not going to repeat that. You guys can read it if you're watching this. Oh, a mega cannon. Crazy. Nice. Grenades are pretty self-explanatory between games. but it is the different types of grenades where this stands out. Well, we don't need to go into what a grenade is. We get it. Hand propelled, explosive, whatever. But the different types of grenades are very interesting. Breach grenades are not really grenades, but rather shaped charges of explosive. They're often used to blow open doors. So pretty self-explanatory to breach weaponry that we have today in our military use. Fireballs are flammable grenades that contain napalm, which splashes over its radius upon detonating and setting things ablaze. Throw that around a corner or a room, and everyone's gonna run out screaming on fire. Flashbangs, again, it's a volatile magnesium of flash powder, explodes in a blinding light. We have flashbangs, we know what those are. Frag grenades, just a simple classic grenade, blows up, just shoots shrapnel, melting hot shrapnel in every direction. Gas bomb, explodes like a small firecracker, but their payload is particularly dangerous. They contain an aerosol version of any venom, which is dispersed when a grenade explodes. That's nasty. Isn't there rules in war against that kind of thing? Mesh net. Oh, nice. Mesh net grenades explode in midair, releasing a polymer net that entangles any person it lands upon in a burst radius. That is really cool. Net is lined with barbs, scraping and cutting at those who try to remove it. Bounty hunter weapon right there. Yeah, the fire grenades are Chuck style, 100%. Mustard, see? You can't use mustard gas. This is against the rules of... There are rules to war. We can't do this. Mustard gas grenades release a cloud of sulfur mustard, which burns skin and blisters the lungs. They are extremely dangerous and painful and deadly. Spider-Man 40k. Yeah, the webbing. Spider-Man 2099 had little barbs on his fingers and all that. Piss bomb. This one's my favorite. Piss bomb. It's just what it sounds like. They're made solely by the orcs, and thank Sol Invictus, they are little more than a glass vials filled with orcs' urine. They are lobbed and explode in a smelly, nauseous cloud. That is not only a hazard. Orcs' urine contains orc spore, and anyone inhaling these particles can quickly begin mutating into one of the grayskin nightmares. So, again, out of the Zweihander core book, if you are familiar with diseases, orcs spore is a disease in there. So you throw these piss bombs and you're going to start to turn. You do not want to be on the receiving end of one of these guys. Plasma grenades contain unstable plasma suppressed by electrical fields. When the pin is released, electrical fields disperse and allow the plasma to explode. Smoke grenades don't explode, but rather expel a thick cloud of smoke that obscures vision. Oh, they linger for 10 minutes. That's a long time. That's cool. And Witchbane. Like Weird Magazine's Witchbane grenades contain a payload of depleted witchstone and rock salt. Here we go. Those of the arcane persuasion affected within its detonation radius find their magical abilities suppressed. Oh, they're a favorite tool of the Uber Inquisitors. Is there such a thing in Zweihander? If not, I'm porting this over to Zweihander to shut down my my spellcasters in my party. I like that. I like that a lot. Make a note. This is being ported to Zweihander. These damn casters. We got our different... Okay, so we got our different ammunition types. This is where we saw the dum-dum earlier. So this is where we get born back into the Dread kind of vibe and feel, where you got the different types of ammunition or magazines that you can filter through. You can even filter through some of them in the same gun, much like Judge Dredd, depending what kind of gun you're using. So, armor piercing, pretty self-explanatory. Bullets have a fine tip, backed up by a solid core, travel at high speeds, punch through armor and shields. Boom. Taking on some Astra Templars, heavily armored bad guys, or whatever. You want to have some armor-piercing magazines. Dum-Dum magazines. These are hollow-tipped, a characteristic pentagram carved in the nose. I read that earlier and I thought that was really cool. When it hits its target, the bullet blossoms out into ravaging blades that cut through soft tissue. It's badass. Don't let the name fool you, folks. The Dum Dum Magazine is anything but dumb. It's deadly. EMP, non-lethal, shuts down electronics, I would assume. Discharge upon striking an enemy, potentially stunning them. Okay. These are especially effective against large targets, giving someone a few spare moments to set up a mortar before a gigantic hellbeast gores them. I don't know if I'd be setting up a mortar. I'd be running away. There you go. Use dum-dums and top secret. Of course you did, Oak. Explosive magazines. These bullets do not contain really any lead. Instead, they are packed with low-grade explosives. Upon impact, these bullets detonate and shove back opponents with high force. That's cool, too. That is really cool. Flame bullets contain small vials of jellied gasoline, also known as napalm, that ignites upon impact and spreads clinging fire. If anybody who's played Zweihander and used fire damage knows that is probably one of the most deadly forms. Burning is one of the most deadly forms of damage in that damn game. Physical damage, not mental. Fmj Magazine, the acronym FMJ stands for Full Metal Jacket. As this bullet is completely enclosed in its casing, when it hits a target, it tends to tumble and turn, shredding their insides and causing terrible wounds. Riot Magazine. Riot bullets are hardened rubber shots, often used to quell uprisings. Toxic magazines are probably the most insidious and feared of all the ammo types. Their bullets possess a microglass tip filled with poison, one that shatters upon impact and infects the target through countless microcuts. Standard Magazine. Common type of bullets. The casing spread across countless battlefields and cities. Oh, and then we're onto the weird stuff again. People are afraid of what they do not understand, and the Weird Magazine is the ultimate expression of this. Weird bullets are filled with depleted witchstone, which turns out is able to quell the use of magics. Yeah, we gotta shut down these mages. Spellcasters. Energy cells and fuel canisters. We kind of touched on this a little bit. You're going to have some weapons that run on fuel and energy cells. So this goes into that. Where does it say here? They can be recharged under the right circumstances. They can overheat if leakage. And leakage can occur. If exposed to an appropriate power source, a successful tradecraft test will recharge an energy cell completely. So, useful to have someone with tradecraft in your party. Upon failure, the energy cell cannot be recharged until 24 hours later. Upon critical failure, it dissolves, entirely unusable. Bill. His name is Bill, Matt. What are you talking about? Refueling empty canisters. Archaic fuel canisters are unfortunately dangerous to refuel. They're very volatile. What do you got to do? Successful survival test will recharge a fuel canister completely at a power source. Upon failure, cannot be recharged for 24 hours, much like the cell. Critical failure, explodes, dealing 2d10 plus 2 damage from fire. Yeah, you, Bill. I don't know. Oak brought you into this. Leaks. Once an energy cell or fuel canister is installed into a piece of gear, it cannot be removed without risking leaking. Removing, roll a d6 chaos die. If it lands on a 6, it's rendered unusable. See, that's where... So, targeting fuel cells, that's where you could use a mechanic there. Like, you could hit it and roll a chaos die to render it useless, which would be really good in battle, to be perfectly honest, especially if it's on, like, their armor, or something like that, and effectively shutting their armor down. And here are the different energy cells and canisters and ammunition types and their qualities tied to them. Oh, yeah, to take down my casters. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, Bill. All right, melee weapons. New melee weapons. Urg did nothing wrong. Urg summoned not one but two demons. Has forever changed the course of that campaign. He's to blame for everything. Chain weapons. This is what we want. Chain swords. Hell yeah. Chainsaws. Chain weapons are beautiful. They are beautiful and brutal tools of death. Their edges are comprised of a rotating saw blade, much like a chainsaw. A favorite of the violent, they come in a variety of types. Chain axe, chain blade, self-explanatory. The decapitator is an intimidating polearm used mostly by guards, while the Orc's Ripper is a crude attempt by these mutants to emulate their barbaric weapon. Force weapons are designed for the rare uses of users of magic, as they are only ever useful when imbued with a mage's energies. Oh, cool. That's neat. Melee weapons that are tied to just magic users. They are wired with arcane circuitry that gives off a sickly glow when they are powered. That is really, really cool. And then we got shock weapons. Featureless hilts that, when activated, manifest as crackling balls of energy. Like a certain weapon from A War in the Stars. These weapons are non-lethal. Oh! And used for policing purposes. Just like batons. Laser batons. Vibro weapons throb and hum at nearly imperceptible speeds using odd dimensional technology, but these subtle variations prove great defensively when trying to ward off blows. Yes, Blightsaber. There you go. Laser sword. Yeah, most epic pants. This is a lot more flesh on the old one. I had purchased the previous one as well, and it's a huge step forward for this book. It's awesome. Does it really? Where is that? Snick. They got claws? Oh, they do. Well, a Wolverine reference for you there. I want claws. Cool. So here's all your new melee weapons, the chain weapons, the force weapons. Force sword. Shock weapons. There's a Cat of Nine Tails, a Fae of Nine Tails. I like that. Clever. Oh, clever. Claws. Vibro Gauntlet. Very cool. Armor. Oh, there's that helmet. That helmet again. Let's Ken with the killer art. Love it. So we've got new types of armor in Dark Astral. Flak, made of layered materials, designed mostly for protecting against small arms fire and grenade blasts. Mesh, modern answer to Brigandine, composed of thermoplastic rings formed into a cloth designed to dissipate impact. Carapace armor is made from molded plastics or ceramic plates, making it bulky form of protection against most weapons. Yeah, I know. I was just thinking, what does that say in Latin on the helmet? And powered armor. Powered armor is usually bulky and unwieldy, but is activated via servos, hydraulics, and takes the weight off their user's shoulders. That's what that big Astro Templar was wearing in that picture in the First Profession. Then we've got our shields. So I was saying earlier, there's 3 types of shields in here now. Mantle, using atom agitation technology, create an invisible force shield around a target. That is cool. That is really cool. A riot shield, designed to bash and stun looters, but the bash works just as well against mutants. Empowered shields, bulky, but the pinnacle of defense technology. They are tower shields that vibrate with harmonic destruction. That is cool. So we've got, this is where the curtain quality came in. When I was looking through this earlier, I saw the curtain quality on some things, and I was curious what that was. Nice. Oh, really? Slow knife penetrates the mantle. The curtain is a really cool quality. Apparently, Ken and Fallbach are old enemies. Very Dune-esque, yes. We need a energy shield and a laser gun that causes a nuclear explosion in here also. Ken and Fallbach are having a moment. All right, mods. We can mod our guns, our weapons, all kinds of things. Ammo selector. Here is the Judge Dredd mod that you want to put on your gun. Your weapon can swap between different types of ammo without having to reload. The weapon can contain up to 3 different types of ammunition. The total number of rounds between the different types of ammo cannot exceed the standard magazine. There you go. That is your Judge Dredd mod that you want to put on your gun. Auto selector, swap between different firing modes. Again, Judge Dredd, cost of 1 AP. Backpack feeder, give more magazines fed into your weapon via backpack. Carry up to 12 magazines with an encumbrance. People do have moments on my show, apparently. I need more moments. Give me more moments. They all involve Ken. He is the glue to the moments. Compact, your weapon is designed for concealment and stealth, reducing encumbrance value by 1. But smaller magazine size. Expanded magazine, your weapon can have up to 3 magazines loaded at once. That is cool. Forearm mounting. One-handed weapon is mounted to your arm by a metallic slide. What is that? Was that in Alien 3 of all movies, I want to say? Where he had the guns that slid out? No, Alien Resurrection. Where they slid out? I don't know. Chat, tell me. Yes, it was. Alien Resurrection, not Alien 3. Alien 3 is an okay movie. It gets a bad rap. It's got a great premise. Being stuck on a prison planet with no escape from this alien. But a bad execution. Bad execution. But I do have a sweet spot for Alien 3. Exactly. Fincher's unrealized gray film. I agree 100%. It's such a cool premise. Lightweight. Weapon is lighter, more streamlined, and has better handling. Melee attachment. Your weapon has a bayonet, knife, axe, or so on attached to the front of the barrel. It grants qualities of that weapon. Who did the screenplay? I've read it and I don't remember. Who did the screenplay? I'm not going to Google. Neil Gaiman. I don't know. Well, tell us, Ken. No. Joss Whedon did Resurrection. He didn't do Alien 3. I know Joss Whedon did... Oh, yeah, William Gibson. Oh, that was the unused Alien 3. Joss Whedon did Alien Resurrection, and it has... Once you know that, you go back and watch it, it's got that very Joss Whedon kind of feel to it, because it's got, like, characters that have their specialties. When you look at the gang, the group that's on there, it's very... And the witty dialogue, it's very Whedon-esque. So, Joss Whedon also did a draft of the original Toy Story. Apparently there's many drafts of Toy Story. He's not the only one. He's one of many. Quick release. Your weapon has a method of reloading faster than normal. This weapon reduces AP cost of for load by 1. Silencer. Your weapon's muzzle produces white noise and radio interference to baffle the sound of a shot. Tripod or bipod. Your weapon has a small metal bracers attached to it that make it easier and better to aim with. Undersling grenade launcher. Here we go. This is Aliens. You got the grenade launcher underneath your gun. Weapon is a single-use grenade launcher attached to the bottom of the barrel. Voice commands. Again, Judge Dredd. Weapon can follow your voice commands with a simple word from you. You can command your weapon to fire, Change magazine types, change modes upon its own accord without you holding it. Yes. So cool. We got different scopes, motion trackers for that alien feel, night scope, see in the dark, red dot lasers, which gains the finesse quality. That's actually really useful. Telescopic sight gets you the accurate quality, and the thermal sight eliminates penalties for firing through fog and mist and smoke. Jazam them. That's right. Gotta jazam them. You have to be on the Discord and certain channels to get it. It's a bit inside, I know. Armor mods. Everything can be mod in this game. So that's what you need to know. When you buy armor, you buy a weapon, you buy whatever. It's not just, you know, factory. You can mod the Jowzam out of this thing. Arcane Ward. Your armor has been mystically enchanted, allowing your body to better resist the perils of magic. When made the target of a magic spell that causes damage, roll a d6 chaos die. Upon a phase 6, increase your damage threshold by 6. Woo! Cool. HUD helmet. It's got a HUD heads-up display. It's got its own display output system acting as a handheld scanner. That's cool. Mount. Armor can integrate a lot of common gear in its manufacturer design, such as a wrist-mounted grapnel or a shoulder-mounted grenade launcher. Oh, that's awesome. Pressurized. Armor is sealed. It's able to filter in its own oxygen. So it's an environment, so you can go in space. But it's heavy. Increases your encumbrance. That's right, Adam. Every Jowzam thing under the Jowzam sun. Armor coating descriptions. Only one coating can be applied to any suit of armor. However, unlike mods, coatings cannot be removed. Ablative coating. Your armor is insulated and absorbs heat, so that some energy weapons are not as effective against you. Ceramic coating. Your armor is covered in a ceramic coating, giving it a smaller outer casing that breaks off easier. Increases your damage threshold against ballistic pattern and Tesla patterns. And reflective coating. Your armor is lined with crystals, allowing light to reflect off you better, which helps you against laser weapons. Melee weapon mods. What do we got here? Ooh, hypo unit. You can automatically dispense a single dose of venom, coating your weapon in it with a push of a button. That's nasty. Vorpal. Your weapon is a mononuclear edge, making it sharper than a razor. Gains the vicious quality. Oh, again, admire Ken's art here. That floating electronic head. This does have good attention to detail. I agree. And universal mods. Carved benedictions. Your weapon is etched with inscriptions from the dead god king, reminding you of your mission. Plus 10 base chance to intimidate or leadership. Oh, that's good when brandishing this weapon. It's very, very 40k-esque. You got your benedictions. Custom grip. Designed specifically for you to use, feeling unnatural and awkward in someone else's hands. That's cool. Flare. You can fire off a flare. Modified stock. Extend your arm. Gains the adaptable quality. And reinforced. Your weapon is constructed of sturdy metals and plastics. Cannot be destroyed by normal means, nor acquire the ruined quality. That is good. That is going to be very hard to come by. I will not hand that out in my games. I'm sorry. And there's the chart for all of that, all those mods. So again, notice no prices or anything. It's set by the game master with reputation and requisition. Implants. All right, what do we got for implants here? We got a list there. So, is there a limit to the number of implants? We will see here. This is where it will answer a question if there is such a thing. implants, bionic augmentations, of which a character can have any number of implants installed in their body. They cannot have more than one of the same implant installed. This means that a character cannot have 2 blister eye implants. There you go. That's a question from before. And implants are installed using psychosurgery, requiring a shard of witchstone as an additional expended ingredient. For each implant that a character has successfully installed, they gain a permanent chaos rank. Heyo. Become less and less human. And you need that damn hard to find witchstone. It's just as hard to find in the Dark Astral universe. Not good. Alright, so let's do a quick rundown of some of these implants. Anti-Graft Coils allow you to hover roughly a yard off the ground for a number of minutes equal to your brawn bonus. Ooh, that's cool. Blister Eye. You got a miniature laser in your eye that acts like a laser pistol. Come on now. The range of 1 plus your PB in yards. But you gain the Black Cataract drawback. That's cool. Cranial armor. Your head is covered in patchwork metal and ceramic plates, adding 3 to your damage threshold when you take cold shots to the head. Black materia. Let's see. What else jumping out at us here? Anything you guys want to see? Hyper lungs, a rebreather, scholar limb. Perpetual augment. This implant increases any one attribute bonus by 1. Its form taking on a different appearance by attribute. For instance, a brawn implant could be interweaved synthetic muscles. Intelligence implant could be represent a mental circuitry and so on. That's cool. Nerve capacitor. You can use your internal energy stores to attempt to charge any mechanical device that uses batteries or power source. You automatically suffer 3d10 plus 3 mental peril in exchange for instantly powering an energy cell held in hand. I don't know. That's a hell of a trade-off. That is a hell of a trade-off. 3d10 plus 3. We've seen, if you've watched my games, you know, I'll roll like 7 when given a roll like that against my players. But you can also, hit that 33 and effectively shut that character down just by charging a cell. There's a third arm. There is replacements. Replace a broken piece of your body. The new mechanical version. You get the drawback caused by the birth defect or from an injury such as black cataract, cropped ear, weak lungs. Yep. Scholar limb, is that the one? No, that was in that picture that we saw. Your lower arm is replaced by a variety of recording and scribing instruments, allowing you to rapidly record information to be a better researcher in general. Cool. Awesome. Slowly become less human. Gear. Oh my god. Then there's a ton of gear. We won't go through all of these. A lot of new stuff. We'll just kind of scan this. We don't need to read all of it. Ghillie cloaks, ghillie suits for camouflage. Light sources, globes. Hand scanners, jammers, jump packs, ammo chutes, combat vests, key cards. Yeah, so back to the comment earlier, the attention detail is really here. Instead of having to just like port things from like Zweihander or from a fantasy setting, like, oh, what did that look like in this game? A lot of that's here. You can look it up and it exists. It's got a name, and some of it even has like stats attached to it, depending on what it is. Compasses. There's your S watch, advanced watch. It adjusts itself to the local Dominion time. It never moves fast or slow. It is automatically wound and it comes in a multitude of candy-colored or metal flake-enameled faces and bands. We saw that with some of the professions. Started with an S-watch. A swatch. Respirators, rebreathers. Cool. Lots of cool standard gear that you can insert into your games. That is the end of the chapbook, folks. Thank you for joining us. It was a fun little flip through. Are there any questions or anything you'd like to see me go back to? Seeing as how the chapbooks, the PDFs aren't coming out till tomorrow, so this is your first look. If you want to go back and see something, we can do that. Well, funny you should say that, Adam. If you come back to the channel the same time as this stream today, come back to the channel next week, Tuesday. So that's Tuesday, let me get my calendar here. Tuesday, April 7th at 9 p.m. Central Time, you can see this game in action. I'm going to be running it next week with a brand new adventure. And we're going to have 5 people in the player seat. And you can see this chapbook and all of this gear and all of this good stuff in action. So next week, Tuesday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, we are going to be running Dark Astral right here on the channel. These hams. Quiet, Ken. Don't ruin the illusion. Oh, you know, I would love a dread helm. I've looked at them. I can't afford that cost. I would buy one though if I had the money. But you know, in these times, my wife would not approve of that purchase. A papercraft dread helmet. I need the badge too though. I need the Jiaozhan badge to wear. You make this happen, Ken. I will wear it. Craft time. I'll make my kids do it now that they're home. Craft time for Dad. I need you to make me a construction paper helmet to wear on the streams when you go to bed. What is it called? Oh, are we allowed to say that? Are we allowed to say what it's called? I guess so. Daniel's giving me permission here. It is called The Dark Below Edessa. It's an original adventure. And wait to hear more about that. But you can see it in action next week, Tuesday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time right here. Make it out of cereal boxes. The Dark Below... Oh, look at that. There's a trailer. Hey, funny. You should drop that in there. There's a trailer in the chat that Daniel just dropped for The Dark Below Edessa, which come back next week, Tuesday, and see in action. It's going to have some more original art for Mr. Ken Decay. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Tomorrow night on the channel... I don't have a pick. Tomorrow night on the channel... Thank you for all the follows, by the way, everybody, while we've been going through this. Tomorrow night on the channel, we have a very, very, very special event. Walter Fulbright, I hope I got your last name correct, who is the person behind Journey Pro Wrestling, is going to be GMing Zweihander tomorrow night on the channel. He is also a member of Daniel's home group. He is a developer on the original book. He's going to be running some professional wrestlers through an adventure. So expect it to be awesome, over the top, amazing as they play their characters. They put on a good show for everybody. That's going to start at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time here on the channel. All of the donations and bits that we collect during the stream are going to go to those wrestlers. They are affected right now with everything that's going on currently in the world. As you know, you can't be in groups of 10 or 15 or more, depending on where you are. So they are effectively out of work, and this is their income. So we're going to take everything that we collect tomorrow during the stream, and we're going to give it to them. It's theirs. It's a charity stream. We want to help these folks out. They entertain us, so it's time that we give back to them with a charity chat, our charity stream tomorrow. So that's at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time here on the channel. It is a match made in hell. Ding, ding, ding. I need the bell symbol. I think we got a trailer for that too, if we want to link that in the chat. Just throwing out commands. Link the trailer in the chat. So Daniel says wrestling talent from AEW, Hood Slam, and Impact are all going to be present. Come out, please show your support. And maybe we can make this a semi-regular thing on the channel, which I think would be damn cool. And again, it's helping people out. It's a good cause. We're not just doing it for fun. It's going to be a good time, but we're also helping folks out who are unemployed and don't have an income now due to the current world situation that we're all coping with and dealing with. So tomorrow at 5, this hasn't been announced officially yet on social media, but I'll announce it tonight. We have some influencers coming to the channel, and they're going to start running Zweihander on the channel and doing various shows Zweihander related as well in the month of April. First up, we have Jeff with the Lollygaggers, who's going to be starting a campaign on Thursday night on the channel. And then Chuck and the Defenders of the Kobold are going to be coming to the channel alternating Fridays. So opposite of my Enemy Within games, they're going to be running their Zweihander games on the channel. So they're going to start this Friday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. So there will be a big announcement tomorrow on social media and on the Discord with days and times for all of those folks coming on board. We also have Amber Marie, who is a player over on Adam Kobold's Eat the Rich. She is redesigning the Zweihander character sheet, the physical character sheet, not the one in Roll20. I was confused by that. And she's going to be doing that live on stream as well, redesigning the character sheet live on stream, and that's going to start next week, but not this week. It is called Zweihander, which I think is a fantastic name. So there you go. Lots of new and exciting things coming to the channel as of April. My Zweihander games are still going to be going on. You can catch me doing Enemy Within every other Friday, and my ongoing weekly Sunday night game will be happening in Dark Astral next week, Tuesday at 9 p.m. Central. We can see it in action, all this cool stuff that we just saw. Yes, Zweihander. I love that name. She wasn't sure about it. She's like, I don't know. Someone said Zweihander. I'm like, yep, that's it. I like it. We're keeping it. We're not changing that. All right, so if there's any other requests, do you guys want me to flip back and see anything else in the chat book before we call it a night? I'll give you a moment. Go back to the beginning. Let's go back to some of that killer Ken Decay art. That's what I say. You can take us home. Can we go out on the Tiger Head? Yes, Jeff, we can go out on the Tiger Head. Just for you, buddy. Ed Hardy, eat your heart out. Who, Ken Decay looks pretty mean? Yeah. I hear he's quite an accomplished MMA fighter. So I passed the Tiger Head. I know I did. Where were you, Tiger Head? I know it's on one of the character models here, but there's a specific shot of it on... Oh, there we go. Take us home, El Tigre. Eat your heart out, Ed Hardy. All right. Thank you, everybody who joined us. We had a great turnout. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, folks. I really appreciate it. I hope that you're as excited for Dark Astral as I am, and we're going to see it in action next week. Let's see what we got going on here. We should keep this party rolling. Let's see what people got going on, and we'll support some other folks on the tabletop RPG scene right now. Let's unload you all on... Ooh, there's quite a few people streaming tonight. Very cool. It's nice to see. Everybody at home moving their home games to online. They're finding their virtual tabletops of choice. All right, let's show some love to these folks that are doing some Star Wars. So, if you want to stick around and watch some Star Wars, we'll raid them. Otherwise, have a great night. And please, please, please join us for the wrestling charity extravaganza tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be good times. Have a good night, everybody.